Robot and Zombie, the indescribable, completely unfathomable journey through utter chaotic havoc. During an otherwise picturesque spring, it was a perfect spring afternoon in the charming town of Ridgefield, Connecticut. The air carried the fresh scent of blooming lilacs, and the historic, white-clapboard houses basked under the glow of a mid-90s sun. At the heart of the town, the lush town green was alive with the casual sounds of teenagers lounging, discussing the upcoming summer. Everything about Ridgefield was calm, pristine, and picturesque until they showed up. Robot, strutting with misplaced confidence, walked through the center of town in his usual disheveled attire, an oversized black death metal t-shirt with obituary emblazoned across the chest, ripped jeans barely held up by a flannel shirt tied haphazardly around his waist, and a beanie he never bothered to pull down properly. He looked up and scowled at the idyllic scene around him. This place. It's like AJ.Crew catalog threw up everywhere. Robot spat, completely unimpressed with Ridgefield's charm. He turned to his companion, the ever-silent, ever-hungry zombie, who shuffled along behind him, absently staring at Todd Burkin's head, as if deciding whether to finally give in to the urge to bite it off. Zombie wore his usual torn Slayer shirt and jeans, head slightly tilted as he followed Robot without question. Todd Burkin, the town's resident dim-witted teen, had fallen victim to Robot's constant manipulations once again. "Hey, Burkin," Robot called out, not even bothering to look over his shoulder. "You got lunch money today? I could use some investments for our new business venture." Todd, slow as always, scratched his head. "What business venture?" he muttered. Before Robot could make up a half-baked lie, Kathy appeared, her brow furrowed as she took in the sight of Robot, causing more chaos. "Are you seriously trying to scam Todd again?" Kathy asked, crossing her arms. Despite her irritation, she couldn't help glancing at Zombie with a slight smile. She had long since developed a weird fascination with the shuffling creature, even though Zombie's main response to her attention was the occasional attempt to stick her head into his mouth. Robot, ever the narcissist, ignored Kathy and waved her off. "Scam? Nah, it's called entrepreneurship, Kathy. Not that you'd understand with your... What are you even into these days? Academic decathlons or whatever? Boring." Kathy rolled her eyes. "I'm into not being a complete disaster, unlike some people." Yeah. Robot muttered dismissively. He grabbed Todd by the shirt. "Burkin, give me that money. We're buying important supplies." He had no idea what those supplies were, but Robot was an expert at making it up as he went along. As Todd fumbled with his wallet, Zombie let out a low moan and leaned forward, his jaw slackening as he fixated once again on Todd's head. Kathy sighed, stepping between them. "No, Zombie, we've been over this." She gently pushed Zombie away, who seemed to lose interest almost immediately. Meanwhile, across the street, the girls of Ridgefield High were starting to gather in small cliques. Cindy, ever the ambitious overachiever, was arguing loudly with Deborah over the latest student council initiative, something about installing new benches near the mall. Cindy's voice cut through the afternoon air. "Honestly, Deborah, you're so self-centered. This town isn't just about you." Deborah sneered, flipping her hair. "Please, Cindy, just because you like pretending to care about everyone doesn't mean you're not just as selfish as the rest of us." As their argument escalated, Robot's eyes gleamed. He loved chaos, especially when he wasn't the one causing it directly. "Zombie," he whispered conspiratorially, "watch and learn." Of course, Zombie had no idea what Robot meant by that, but he stared blankly at the two girls, awaiting instructions. Without warning, Robot lunged forward, grabbing a nearby garbage can and hurling it into the middle of the street. It clattered loudly, drawing the attention of every pedestrian within earshot. "Riot!" Robot screamed at the top of his lungs, throwing his arms into the air dramatically. No one reacted, not even the slightest gasp from the well-mannered Ridgefield residents. In fact, The only sound that followed Robot's proclamation was the gentle chirping of birds in the nearby trees. What? Robot looked around in disbelief, his arms still held high. What kind of weird utopia is this where people don't lose their minds over a little street garbage? Kathy snickered. Guess people around here have other things to worry about than your nonsense, Robot. Robot was furious now, his face turning red beneath his beanie. That's it, he shouted. Zombie! I declare war on this town. He kicked the garbage can for emphasis, but it only wobbled in place. Suddenly, Vanessa arrived, walking alongside Cindy and Sue Webster. Vanessa was a force of nature, strong-willed and fiercely loyal to her brother Brandon, but often drawn to the chaos of Robot's antics. Spotting Zombie, she smiled coyly and waved. Hey, Z! Want to hang out later? Before Zombie could respond, Robot jumped in front of him. Nope, not happening. He's busy. We're waging a campaign against. Robot gestured vaguely at the street. All of this. You're either with us or against us. Vanessa gave Robot a deadpan stare. Yeah, pass. Sue, ever the optimist, chimed in. Well, I think it's nice you're getting involved in the community, Robot. It's really proactive of you. Robot blinked, taken aback by Sue's positivity. He wasn't used to such compliments, especially not from someone so genuinely enthusiastic. Yeah, sure, proactive. That's exactly what we're doing. He turned to Zombie, confused by his own success. Robot, you're such a loser, Todd finally muttered, shaking his head. Even I wouldn't fall for this. Whatever it is. He strolled off, leaving Robot standing there, his mouth agape. Vanessa laughed, her arms crossed. You know, sometimes I think you actually believe your own lies. As the spring afternoon stretched on, the townspeople of Ridgefield continued their peaceful lives, mostly ignoring Robot's attempts at anarchy. Kathy, Vanessa, Cindy, and the others eventually walked away, leaving Robot and Zombie to stew in their own failure once again. Whatever. Robot grumbled to Zombie. They just don't get it, Z. They don't see the genius of my plans. But one day soon, this town will be mine. Zombie moaned softly, gazing at a passing bird. Exactly. Robot sighed. Exactly.